I ain't gonna lie to you, my lovely people. My man ORN has so much to prove. He has so much to prove. I have avoided this. I got home from work pretty late, and I've avoided this the entire day, all right? So, my man ORN not only has to be a cool character on his own, but he also has to carry Jax on his back. He has to do it. It's kind of crazy, all the stuff that this boy has to do. So, let us sit back and watch the boy ORN. Oh yeah, and I know there were cards that released before this, and I'll look at those again and see if I feel different about them. Ready, set, holo.
Name's ORN. No further pleasantries needed.
Wait, how do you start the thing off with his champion spell? It's hilarious. Forge an ally, deal 1 damage to all units. Do it again. Create a ORN in deck. I understand that. So pretty much you do that hoping, well no, yeah, because granted ally +1/+1 if the ally is equipped, granted to their item instead, which is a lot better. That is insanely better because the equipment will then go on someone else, and then all of a sudden, using the Light of Acacia, let's use Jax because Jax is the one that needs the most help. Then you can keep forging over and over and over again. Then it's a 1 mana 5/5 boost. It's like a what is it, that the Fury of the Mountain or Fury of the whatever, the Winter Claw, whatever. Then it's on crack, you know, like and then you keep passing it over. Then you're running the cards, which is a little bit controversial, I think, because I think, what is it, Weapon Master? You'd have to run those cards that can bounce the equipments at like burst speed, and then you also have to run ORN at the same time. But it's still a deck that can happen, right? It has to be a Jax thing deck. But what about a Cultist? Can ORN work with Kane as well? So let's keep watching.
Temper the steel,
Forging. He already has it equipment. So that's actually nuts. I almost feel like pausing again. I'm gonna pause, sorry. But you know what's crazy about that is that that's the scout equipment, right? So the scout equipment getting forged, and then it becomes a stronger scout equipment. ORN is a 7-drop. Holy God, you see him in the bottom left there? Jesus. That man has a crazy effect. That's why he didn't even start off in the video.
Somebody hold my beer.
Ah! Somebody hold his beer. Wait. What did that card do? I know, I'm being... When I'm summoned or round start, create a fleeting time and dedication. That, oh, I forgot what that does. I saw that yesterday. There it is. Forge an ally. Focus speed. It's a fleeting one though, so it goes away. But there's other cards that create it and it's not fleeting. Boom, +1/+1 to that scout weapon. First time you equip a thing, nothing's happening. It's gonna attack. 1/1 dies. 1/1 doesn't die. Okay. And that's not a countdown thing, that just keeps happening. And then boom, there it is, ORN. Play, equip me with an exact copy of an ally's equipment or the strongest equipment from hand. Now that, my good sense, that's actually dumb. And I mean dumb in a good way. That's actually stupidly strong. Reason being is because there are certain equipments in the game, and then they can make equipments, and I'm thinking about future proofing as well. ORN, if they release any really strong equipment, that could be a crazy power play. And what's also dumb about it is that he's creating a copy, so he's been forging this one weapon over and over again, which is crazy because that's how him hacking away with the hammer, and now he's gonna get an exact copy of it. So even though he's crazily understated, he's always coming with the heat.
Here, let's get on with it.
Oh, he creates it in hand, and then you still have to equip it. But that's the rake right there. It's a 5/4 because he keeps forging it. Now he's a 5/4 with that.
Stand on your own 2 feet, and nothing shall move.
And when he attacks, he gets forged twice, so he gets +2/+2 every time he attacks, regardless if he has a weapon or not. By the way, Jesus. And that's an instant level.
Looks like. You wanted the god of the forge, you got it.
Oh, you needed it. Still a little bit sad that Aatrox isn't coming. At least he'll probably come in the next expansion thing. So same thing, attack me twice, then summon a attacking spirit of the ram with my stats. Okay, with his stats, not the keyword or the equipment, just the stats. And he has to attack. So Freljord Demacia? And Demacia already has scouty stuff too, so.
Here comes my
So there it is, the Spirit of the Ram. 1511. Overwhelm. Okay. So he attacks and he brings an Overwhelm Imperial unit every time. Gonna forge himself, make himself stronger again.
But I named it Hammer.
In your name, I have rekindled the hearth blood.
Let the name die, boy. It means nothing anymore.
Let the name die, boy.
Rum is
Braum, why are you here? Well, if you forged enough,
If only your followers knew the truth, Ice Witch.
there it is. If only your followers knew the truth, Ice Witch. Woo! There's some lore about Lysandra that's kind of crazy. Boom. Forge again. Oh, you don't forge again. The AoE just happens twice. Gotcha.
This is too much celebrating for my tastes.
So those are most of the cards from yesterday as well. So the Wizened Smith. So yeah, that card that had all them stats was just a 1/4. That was it. So Spirit of the Ram is a 4-drop 1/1 that he creates. So it's not really a 4-drop, but in case something needs to revive something and it goes by the cost, it's a 4-drop 1/1, and it just comes back with his stats. So the more stronger Ornn is, the better. And he is in Freljord, so there's other boosting nonsense that you can have. Like some of the other cards, you can also do like the deck boosting stuff, like with Revna and other things like that. Him being a 7-drop is kind of rough though. I definitely will say that. Bellows Breath is not a card you can main deck, it seems. So this is just something specifically that is exclusive to having Ornn, which is crazy because in this type of deck, there's not much healing outside. I mean, there is healing, right? There's definitely a decent amount of healing in the deck. With Forging, there was another card that heals as well, and it doesn't really help that other card. A lot of people were thinking about the other card that like, let's go to that page anyway. It should be up and ready. So these are the cards that were released yesterday with, I think it was just these, the Forge and Ally, which we saw, Summon Time of Dedication, Forge and Ally, boom, Demacian Steel, which now kind of makes more sense based on how Forge is, because these two archetypes kind of work well. If you're not running Jax, right? If you're just not running Jax for some reason, you're not Weapon Master, but he kind of needs it because the Light of Acathia is so garbage without it. And also will help Jax level because it's equipped ally struck, will definitely help him out. And since Ornn comes later, wait, what the hell is this? Oh, they didn't even show this. I don't think that they showed this in there. So I'll have to look at that later. Wait, oh no, it is a card. Okay, so Bellows Breath is an actual card by itself. Forge an ally deal, and then it does the AoE. This is basically the same mana almost as, what is it? Like a Blighted Ravine, right? Just one more mana. But Blighted Ravine is a landmark, so it can't go through... Unfortunately, it can't go through with the spell mana, but this card actually can. And I'm actually curious, Ornn Senna, could that be a thing? I have a, hold on, I'll show you real quick. All my little deck ideas, been camping around. So what about Ornn Senna? Just because I'm curious of, can you Bellows Breath because it deals damage? Technically, you should be able to do that. And sometimes I have deck concept ideas that have absolutely nothing to do whether or not it's actually good, but just to see how interactions work. I don't know if you guys do that too. Like, does this work? If it works, then that's awesome. If it doesn't, then, you know, oh well. But, and then you have to keep having attacks. So that's why I'm thinking Demacia. Like, if you want to actually run an Ornn deck, and then some of these cards, like this card is Demacia. Where was the other one? The pot one, Catch, is Demacia Freljord. So that actually works in both decks, which is technically, you don't want to go dual region, and then the part of going dual region is to kind of screw up something. But this is another thing, right? This is also in that archetype. It's also Weapon Master. So I guess you could still run this regardless, right? If you're going Jax. But I'm curious about how much Cultist stuff could work with Ornn as well. Remember, this is Cultist. Once you equip the ally, grant me lifesteal. You know, there's some stuff in there. All this darkened stuff. Yeah, because, you know, that thing they gave him Scout, and no real synergy, I think, with Kai'Sa outside of the things outside of a. If she gets a decent amount, unless there's enough equipment to give Kai'Sa and all her other minions enough keywords that the evolved mechanic runs smoothly, and then you can actually run it in Freljord. I did do, if you guys haven't seen, Kai'Sa Poros. That's a whole thing. That's pretty funny. But this seems pretty cool. Equip me with an exact copy of allies or the stronger in the hand. So I think I like his effect. And remember, he's 7 mana just like Malphite, but he just his effect seems to be way stronger than that. Especially the evolve, his evolve thing. An ally has struck. And this one's also weird because you just see him striking for damage. This you would really like. I think they need to reword it to I've seen an ally struck for 10 damage, or is it just him himself, or is it actually that one ally has to actually strike? For a total of that, similar to like Vi has to hit for 10 damage and then she levels up. I'm curious if that's how this works, but even still, I think it's pretty good. I like his package. I like how he kind of works. And what is this card? The first time I'm equipped, create a copy of me in hand, granted the equipped stats. The first time I'm equipped. So he has a way to cycle himself. He's an 8/8 with Overwhelm. The first time I'm equipped, so you equip something on him, you create a copy of me in hand, granted the equipment stats. So let's say, boom, let's go with this 8/8, and you equip him with, there we go, Demacian Steel. I just need an easy example. So then you create a copy of him that is a 8 drop. That's a 9/9, right? And then you can do that to that one. So this kind of like keeps repeating itself. And as soon as I see stuff like this, I'm thinking, oh my God, Victor. I'm gonna write that on the side actually. ORN Victor. ORN Victor is getting added. Just because, like I said, anything that has to do with equipping stuff, I do think will work really well with created cards. I definitely want to try that out. Victor, with the darkened stuff. Did I write that down yet? No, I didn't. Victor, Victor, darken, stuff like that. Because the equipment should come back. I don't know if the equipment goes back to hand, is it considered created? That's something I would like to test. This is the other card that I was thinking about, right? Heal the Nexus for 4, grant all allies and equipments in your deck +1. But the problem is that it's in the deck, so any of the equipments in your hand aren't going to benefit from this whatsoever. Unless you're, for some god-awful reason, running like Careful Preparation, which I think is a Shurima card if I'm not mistaken, and you're throwing equipments back in your deck, and then you use Gift for the Heartblood because you're a mad lad. No, that just seems stupid. I do like this card though, because the Orange Forge, when I'm summoned or round start, create a fleeting time and dedication. This card right here I think is the bee's knees, because 1 mana forge an ally. It's almost like, to me, it's giving anything +1/+1. This to me is where I think that's where the Victor synergy comes from, and some of these other Freya cards that you can throw in there. I think even, let's say maybe that you don't even run like so many equipments, like yes, ORN, but maybe like even like a Udyr or something like that, and then maybe you're running that plus the stances, or you're running ORN with time and ORN and Victor, and then you're still running the stances for created cards, and then you make this guy huge with the stances, or maybe even you run ORN Udyr, and you just make a really big crazy thing. But the whole point of this is to put it on an equipment and then boost up the equipment. Then when he comes in, whether the equipment's in the hand or not, you equip him with the strongest, biggest, juiciest equipment that you've been forging all game, and then he becomes a big thing. The problem is that, oh god, the problem is that he still needs like a spell shield or something like that. I do think that Shadow Isles has a lot of power, especially with the Quintus and some of these other things. I do think Shadow Isles will become a threat, especially a deck with Senna, with some of these slow speed stuff becoming fast. I do think that even the Ash deck, like making him, he needs to strike. Anything that has to do with striking is just gonna stop, so he really gets stopped by his own region with a bunch of Frostbite stuff. So I do think he's strong, but I think he's easily countable, and him being a 7-drop makes it that you might pay 7 mana and then he does absolutely nothing on his open because of depending on the meta, right? What if he gets silenced? What if he gets frostbitten, stuff like that? Like same issue that LeBlanc and I'm about to say Republic Reputation decks have. But he's not a reputation card, but I'm curious if that's going to work. How these equipments work, and will people actually need to way back down here? Are people actually going to run some of the equipment stop stuff wherever the heck that stuff is? I don't even know where it is anymore. Are they going to be running that? Oh yeah, Yi has like very slight. Ionia is really not about the equipment stuff. They have this one equipment in here, which is not even accessed by cultists, nor is it accessed by Swordmaster. So you just have to be like, I really want to run this card because it has flow on it. that's still gonna be a thing. There's so much, man. There's so much. Did I put Yi Victor? You know how many Victor decks I'm making? I'm just saying, Victor, Yi. I have so much. This deck, this thing is gonna be cool because look, some of these, I think, like some of the first equipments that they shown, like Piltover, like some of these cards, like you're definitely gonna have to try to run like either ORN and see how many other random stuff that you can actually run it in. And then there we go. We have the Rost, and you have the Kane, the Cultist package. How is that gonna do? How about all these other ones? How is they're gonna work? It's gonna be a fun time. That's all I'm saying. It's gonna be an absolute fun time. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited for ORN? Do you think he's enough payoff to make Jax and his followers seem good? I think Jax's followers are actually pretty good. I think Jax himself is underwhelming, but Forge is nice because there's actually more things to Forge outside of his own champion spell, so you can actually really boost up the Light of Acacia, and eventually, as long as Jax levels, just saying, you're gonna have a quick attack overwhelm with stats that you can pass along to other people. And that's why they said keep the light burning in Jax's reveal, because it's about switching around. I think this one also, Xerxes, is absolutely butt-nusted. Like, it's so strong. I think that this one is the hidden OP with the Jax deck. To have a really strong weapon, and then it's forged all, like, it's super duper forged, and then you give that equip ally the stats and the keywords, and I think that that's where it is. Like, you could pay for something like the Bone Club, and I know people were making fun of it, right? But making this super strong and then having something like Xerxes boost it and switch it around and move it, there's a lot of surprise lethals that you can do with that. I think that this card is after seeing how Forge work and the fact that it is in Freljord, I think that this card actually might be a little bit stronger, especially if people don't run equipment removal. This card might be really dumb. Just saying, because it's not the you pay it the first time, but then after that it's about moving it around for less mana and moving it onto units. And maybe, remember, you haven't seen anyone talk about elusives being a nonsense, like moving around elusives, giving elusives a lot of power for free. I think that that might be a thing that we have to watch out for, but that's what ORN's here for, and his Bellows Breath, right? Okay, I'm talking in circles. I'm just excited, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.